Yes, it's me, Mike Stone, and this is the Backseat Driver Podcast. This episode is brought to you by Gas Shocks, home of the 116 Trophy and 120 Coupe Cup. Hoddy Tyres, find the best tyres for your vehicle, supplying all the top brands to keep you covered in every season and every condition. Tarox Brakes, the art of slowing down, precision engineered in Italy for ultimate performance, and Specialised Automotive Services, specialists in high-quality automotive maintenance and classic car restoration. You can find the details of all our proud sponsors for this episode in the show notes. Most people who are into cars, true petrolheads, secretly harbour a desire to own a supercar or a performance car. It is not an unusual thing. Whether it's a Ferrari, McLaren, Bugatti, Lamborghini, one of the McLaren worked on Mercedes-Benz, everybody would like one of these cars. And as time's gone on, the sales numbers increase because, of course, there's now the opportunity to win a lot of money and go and buy one. But to give you an example, a good few years ago, when Enzo Ferrari was running Ferrari, if they produced 800 cars a year, they'd had an exceptional 12 months. They now manufacture 10,000 a year, which indicates that the good old days of artisan craftsmanship has probably long gone. There also used to be the favourite statement of Enzo, since his road cars were there to finance his racing: I will sell you a very expensive, very high-performance engine, the car I give you for free. But working on these cars, you suddenly realise that the glamour of ownership probably isn't as glamorous as you think, which is why people like my guest today exist. So I'd like to welcome to the Backseat Driver Nick Foster, who is the sports car, performance car, supercar mechanic from Specialised Automotive Services, one of the Backseat Driver's sponsors. So, Nick, welcome to the Backseat Driver.
Thank you, Mark. Glad to be on board.
How long have you been a mechanic?
I've been wielding spanners for about 25 years.
Yeah.
Started apprenticeship at 18 back in 2001. And yeah, I'm nearly getting there.
What made you want to start working on, or how did you start to become working on high-performance cars? Because that's the one thing you're known for. I mean, was it by chance, or was that your heart's desire?
Oh yeah, it's a heart's desire. It's something, as you start as a young mechanic, you always want to be working on the top, the best.
Yeah.
And it's not until I found this Specialised Automotive that this is my gateway into getting into high-end performance and special cars.
What do performance cars, supercars, have in common with ordinary cars? I mean, okay, it's four wheels and an engine.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, there's got to be a point where they diversify away from a standard car. Where does that happen?
Often it is right down to the bones of it, the actual structure of the car. They're often, nowadays there's a lot of carbon fibre, so there's some carbon fibre tubs going around. But kind of traditionally you'd be more aluminium based, often kind of glued and riveted together sort of things. Whereas your standard car will be steel and it'll be welded and cheap. And
so it's a bit like the Lotus Elise. There's one thing about the chassis on a Lotus Elise. It was glued together, and if it had been in an accident, you couldn't repair them.
No, that was it.
That's it. The chassis was gone.
Yeah, yep.
So when you work on them, I mean, how long does it take for you to learn about these cars? Because, I mean, they are all reasonably unique. And I conclude a Ferrari is different to a McLaren, to a Lamborghini. On and on and on it goes. They will all be different, I conclude.
Oh, yeah. There is, it does take you a while to learn them. You kind of need a good couple of hours going through a car, just looking at it, and it'll get you an idea of its build and its what you've kind of got yourself in for in a way.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's a bit like, I mean, today you're working on a Bentley Continental.
yes, yeah,
And that's kindly done its cylinder head gaskets in. And you're knelt on the engine to work. I mean, when you look under the bonnets of these things, I mean, they've got to be daunting compared to a normal car.
oh yes, yeah. There is. It's an enormous bay, but it's filled with an enormous engine,
Yeah.
and you do have to get in there on top of it to reach anything, to see anything.
Yeah. And are the components different? I mean, my standing joke is, everybody knows my everyday car is a Fiat Panda 4-wheel drive. And I always say to people who have Ferraris, you do know there's a commonality of parts. Not very many, and especially the engine. But do you find that on supercars, the parts, the components are different things?
Some are, but lots and lots is still used, from your basic everyday car
Yeah.
down to door latches to, components behind the dashboard, things like that. They will be common to everything.
Within the range.
Yeah, within there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, as we all know, Ferrari are part of Fiat.
Yeah.
Lamborghini now is part of Volkswagen.
Yes, yeah.
So I mean, you look at a Lamborghini, and you see all these Volkswagen parts. If you're familiar with Volkswagens, as regards the interiors and things like that, you do see them. They are common. So if you're looking for parts, do you start with, say, to use Lamborghini as an example, do you start with the Lamborghini parts book? Or do you look at Volkswagen's part book?
No, we'll start with the brand, and then obviously if you struggle to find bits, because often you can't find things, or so then you can look down the route of what else in their manufacturing branch uses this component.
Yeah,
and a lot of the time you can find things that your local general factors can get parts. Yeah,
I mean, there's a story going around, and it is verifiable, that somebody in Scotland who owns a Bugatti Veyron, one of the toggle switches in the cockpit snapped, and he inquired with Bugatti about wanting it repairing, and they said, you'll have to bring it back to Germany, and by the time we finished, it'll be £17,000. So he contacted a friend of his who was an auto electrician and mechanic and said, could you look into this for me? And 2 days later, he got a call saying, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is these toggle switches are made in Scotland, ironically. They are £1.70 each, but you've got to buy 10. And the other problem is they don't have the letter B on top of them. And the guy said, fair enough, could you do the job? He said, certainly. He said, how much would you want for doing it? He said, next time you're passing, buy me a pint. And is this, I don't mean that particular thing, but do you find this as an example? You'll get a quote on parts for a whatever.
Yes.
And you can find them immeasurably cheaper elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or do you find owners bring their cars in and say, look, I've been quoted a stupid amount of money for this. Can you do the same job for less?
Yeah. I mean, let's take this Bentley Continental, for example. There is some large diameter rubber hoses on the intake system. And they're ludicrous money from Bentley, but you can look about and you can buy a length of this hose for a fraction of the price, but you'd have to trim it down.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit you can kind of get away with in a way.
Yeah.
Without having to pay the extortionate prices.
Yeah. And one of the other favourite things, and I mean, Ferrari are notorious for this, the number of times for what might seem a small job, the engine has to come out.
Oh, yes.
I mean, why do you constantly have to keep taking the engines out of them?
It's space around them. They're built to a specification of it needs to be so light, and it needs to the engine needs to be that low in the engine bay for weight distribution, etc. That a lot of the components you can't get get spanners on bolts.
Yeah.
So dropping the engine is
Are they easy to get out? Are they made to come out?
Yes, they are. Yeah. From my experience so far, everything. Like that, if you take an engine out, it is meant to come out because that's how they put them in. it's when it's when you are trying to do a job that should have an engine out, and you think, well, I might be able to get round it.
Yeah.
And that's when you start struggling.
Yeah.
To try and, to cut corners, or cut costs at least, anyway.
I mean, I know I once came across this, full enough, in Italy, and I was looking at a Ferrari on ramps, and you could see with the rear left wheel removed, part of the inner wing had been cut away and then welded back into place and sprayed red again. And I inquired as to why. And the owner said, to do the job that needed doing, it was engine out. He said, but I worked out if I cut that little bit of inner wing away, I could get to the part I wanted, replace it, and if I welded that piece of bodywork back on, the job was done and dusted. I mean, is this a common thing, or have you ever been tempted to, shall we say, do this?
I've been tempted, yes, yeah. It's always an option. You'd perhaps, if that was the case, you'd go to the customer now and tell them there is a possible shortcut.
Yeah.
And we'd just kind of leave it with them, really. If they're precious and everything has to be 100% original, then we just carry on and go about it the hard way.
Yeah. The problem is, though, doing it that way, the bill will go up astronomically.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. You've got to be expecting massive bills.
I mean, how long does it take to get the engine out of, once again, was it a Ferrari?
Yeah. You could be a couple of days easily.
Yeah.
Easily. And then whatever work you need to do, and it's always longer putting it back in because everything's got to be neat, cleaned. And, even a simple kind of job could take you a week.
Yeah.
Could take you a week or more because you're having to take the engine out.
Yeah. Now, I mean, say you buy a new Lamborghini or whatever, the first owner will probably take it back to the dealership he bought it from, because when you buy them, there tends to be a package available, a servicing.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, a warranty and that.
And then a lot of people who buy these cars new don't keep them long, about 2 years, something like that, if that, they don't put a lot of mileage on. The second owner will probably maintain this regime, but by the time they get to the third owner, things will have changed, won't they? And maybe the maintenance levels won't have been kept going. Do you find that this is one of the reasons that some of the cars that come into SAS come in because they've been bought by enthusiasts, and they bought a car that requires maintenance, probably more maintenance than they expect?
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely. You can't just get in these cars and drive them and do 12,000 miles a year.
Yeah.
No, they definitely need a lot more thorough servicing. Parts do wear out because they're built as race cars, essentially, aren't they? And, so expecting 100,000 miles out of them is probably pushing it a bit.
Yeah. And I mean, I think the other thing is, I mean, and once again, I've seen it, I saw it here, there was an absolutely stunning 308 brought in, Ferrari 308. And on the ramps, somebody who tried to maintain it had jacked through the floor.
Yes.
In two places. Do you tend to find when some of the cars come in here that people who've tried to maintain them, be the owner, or else other garages, do you tend to find they've made more of a mess of them repairing them?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you'll often see trolley jack marks underneath, things like or silicone smeared over engine bays and things to try and keep oil leaks at bay. Ferrari Testarossa we just had in has been a good example. The rocker covers have got an inch of silicone all around them. Because you probably have to take the engine out to get to them and to replace the seal. So, it's just been siliconed up.
Yeah.
Which you don't see till you're underneath.
So, I mean, with something like that, I conclude before you can do the job in hand, you've got to then try and repair the work that's gone before.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of your time can be wasted on just fixing what somebody else has had to go out.
Yeah,
and you'll find some cars will been to their local garage and then they realise they can't do it.
Yeah,
and then we get to them. You get a box full of bits and And so you're having to go back to the beginning with it. And
Yeah.
There's a lot of research and a lot of sitting down and trying to study photos before you.
Yeah.
Before.
How easy is it to find the information out about these cars? Because I mean, there's a shall we say, you probably won't find there's a Haynes manual for a Ferrari Testarossa.
No. Autodata won't list any details for it. No, that's right. I mean, I'm sad to say, but Google is quite good. You can find torque settings quite quickly and things like that, lubricants and the grades and that sort of thing of oil. But yeah, there is some good websites, especially Ferraris. They have a good. I can't remember the name of the website, but there's all the parts diagrams are in there, all broken down.
All right, so exploded diagrams.
Yeah, exploded diagrams. So yeah, they're quite useful actually.
Yeah. And how easy is it to get components for, shall we say, older performance cars or older supercars? Because I mean, a lot of the car manufacturers now, unfortunately, don't make the parts. I mean, another example, if you buy a Bentley, say 4 or 5 years old, its electric window motors are out of a Touareg. The double glazing in the Bentley is basically too heavy for the electric motors. The electric motors burn out under the early Touareg motors, and Volkswagen have more or less stopped making them. Do you find this a lot, and how do you get round this?
Well, yeah, that's a good point, really. Because like we were saying earlier about the sharing of components between your basic everyday cars. I mean, no doubt. I would assume there would be some kind of upgrade that they would have done to these window motors, but often I guess not. Then, and we'd.
Because I mean, I have been in here and watched the electrician, etc., strip what are basically simple electrical components down that you would have replaced no problem, and start to rebuild the entirety of a little electric motor.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, that's down to parts availability, and like we say, you can't always get new parts.
Yeah.
So you're often making do in a way, really.
I mean, is it easy to get parts? I mean, once again, we'll go back to Ferrari. Can you get do you deal with Ferrari, or do you deal with somebody who supplies? Or
yes.
How does it work with them? Because a lot of these manufacturers don't like non-original equipment manufacturers manufacturing parts for their cars.
No, that's it. And they don't like selling them to small garages as well often.
Yeah.
Because they don't assume that, what are you doing touching a Ferrari? How dare you? But yeah, I mean, a lot of it, take Ferrari, for example, most of the bits are available, even for old 70s Dino.
Yeah.
All the wheel arch trims and everything like that, it's all available.
Yeah.
There's just long lead times. So you can put in an order and it'll have to come from Italy and it'll be on a boat and...
Then it has to clear customs.
You have to clear customs, yeah. So you might be waiting months for it to turn up.
How do you find the owners react to this, to be told, yes, we can get the part back in 10 months?
Often they're quite understanding.
Yeah.
There is a certain, shall we say, breed of people that assuming these, they'll just have them on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah.
No,
they don't.
And they need a bit of re-education into quite how hard it is to get some bits.
Yeah. And the other thing is, like we were saying, Bugatti's now part of Volkswagen, Lamborghini's part of Volkswagen, Ferrari's part of Fiat, and so on it goes. Maserati is part of Fiat, Bentley's part of Volkswagen. Rolls-Royce is part of BMW. Do you find that when the big manufacturers acquire the supercar brands, how do you find they treat their brand, their new toy?
Yes, yeah. That's a good question. Sometimes, I mean, you can tell often looking in an engine bay, kind of who owns the company in a way, because... you'll find maybe coolant caps.
Yeah,
look exactly the same as your Volkswagen Polo or something like that. So you can you get an idea of, they're kind of cost cutting, I suppose, aren't they? They're just using the parts bin, maybe. So you often see it.
Which are the better to work on? The, shall we say, major manufacturer built supercars or the original manufacturer's supercars? Which tend to be the better to work on or the nicer to work on?
Yeah, it is a difficult question because if you're thinking of original, say, sort of going back to the 60s, take an E-Type, for example.
Yeah.
It would have been a supercar of the day.
Yeah.
And
well, they were. It was the car that Enzo Ferrari was envious.
That's it, yeah. And they are notoriously difficult to work on because they're built, from a D-Type, really. So they're just a racing car, just adapted for the road.
Yeah.
So I suppose the newer stuff is often a bit easier. But it's possibly to do with its computer design as well.
Yeah.
As it's put together and been drawn out. You can find that it's a bit, they are a bit easier sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And it's like you said with the E-Type and the D-Type racing heritage. I mean, do you have to look back at certain things and think, well, that was derived from that?
Yes.
So if we look at what it was derived from, is that of any use to you?
Yes, yeah. If you're having to remake components, say, if you can't get hold of something, you can kind of see the design brief and say, why did they make it like that? Oh, it's because it's either been because it's supposed to be lightweight or it gives you an idea of of what they're for really, and you can kind of it's easy enough.
I know you were saying like the modern supercar isn't designed to do tremendous mileage. Is there any way when you get one in, say, like the Testarossa, that you can improve the parts to make them, to give them more longevity? Or are you stuck with what you've got?
You're kind of stuck with what you got. If your customer is quite happy for, upgrades and modifications and they're not sticking to the original plan, you can replace stuff with a lot better components from new. Let's take fuel pipes, for example.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the E10 fuel now, the original hoses and that aren't any good anymore. Yeah. So you have to replace with new modern pipes. And yes, you can get around it, but it's just.
I suppose this is where the originality problem comes in.
Yeah.
There again, there's no such thing as an original car. The only original car is the one that came out of the factory and nobody actually touched anymore.
Yeah. The barn find, essentially. Yeah.
I mean, once again, like the Testarossa that came in, that came in via Switzerland. So it was a Swiss-registered car and it passed what you might call the Swiss MOTs. In England, our MOTs are different.
Yeah.
They only wanted the speedo changing to miles per hour. There was something to do with the fuel gauge. All the lights had to be changed because, of course, they were designed for driving on the right, not the left.
That's it, yep. Yeah.
So, I mean, doing something like that, how big a job is it? I mean, technically it sounds quite simple, or just change the headlights and everything else.
Yeah. Sounds simple enough, but again, like Testarossa or pop-up headlights.
Yeah.
We didn't have to take the bumper off for that one, but it was close to. Yeah. You got this intricate little metal surround around the twin headlights in each pop-up. And of course, I don't like having screw heads on show or anything like that. So everything's hidden away.
Yeah.
What could be a simple job can turn into masses of work.
Because the problem is, I mean, that was an 87 car, which to you and I doesn't sound old. To somebody a bit younger than us, it sounds like it's positively vetted.
Yes, exactly.
A lot of the screws and the clips will no doubt become quite brittle, won't they? So
yes.
When you're working on them, that'll be one of the major problems, won't it?
That's right, yeah.
Things break it.
Yep. Yeah, rubber deteriorates, plastic goes hard and brittle. There's so much. Age is the biggest killer, really.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, the heat of an engine bay over 15, 20 years
Yeah.
would degrade any rubber.
Yeah.
No matter if it's original equipment and supposed to do the job. It's
Yeah.
age is the key, really.
Yeah. So when something like that comes in, or you know it's coming in, do you look at finding potential components and parts that you may need to buy? Or do you forewarn the owner, look, just doing this little job, given the age of the car, could turn into something slightly more major?
Yeah.
Are they aware of this, or do they think their pride and joy is going to be absolutely perfect?
Yeah, some of them do believe that, just because it's old, it shouldn't matter because they've kept up with their service history and,
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. But, we do have to educate some people in that, it's been on the car for so many years.
Yeah.
Now we've got to try and release it off the car. It's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
And,
It more or less saying, look, when we try and take that off, it'll break.
That's it, yeah. This Bentley I've got the engine out of at the moment. So while it's all stripped down and replacing every vacuum hose, every little plastic connector in between them,
Yeah.
because I know that they've gone brittle, they're hard,
Yeah.
and I can almost guarantee by the time I build it up and road test it, they're going to then split.
Yeah.
So I'm having to go through it just for my own peace of mind, for the company's well-being.
And the interesting thing is the engine in that Bentley, the V8, is probably a late 50s, early 60s Rolls-Royce design.
That's right, yeah.
Can you tell when you're working on that engine, can you tell that, though it's a modernish engine, that its design is old? Do you look at that and think, by God, I haven't seen one of them for a long while?
Yeah, but at the same time, it was very advanced for its age.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of modern technology that you see commonplace now.
Yeah.
It's just older and bigger and number in a way.
Because, I mean, that's had a turbocharger fitted.
Yeah.
That engine was originally never designed to have a turbo.
No, that's right.
Do you find that fitting things like turbos to them has a detrimental effect on them?
Yes, yeah. This is a prime example that 50,000 miles this car has done and head gaskets have blown.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was a non-turbo, it would go on and on and on. It's whether it was a bit of an afterthought, they needed to keep up with the market.
I mean, you just put it in. I mean, one of the big things with supercars and performance cars is they're all the same. They all have this brake horsepower competition.
Yes, oh yeah.
I mean, supercar A has now got 600 horsepower, so supercar B has to find 20 more and come up with 620. And all this will have a detrimental effect on the engine, won't it? Because, I mean, an engine can only stand so much.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it's top trumps at the end of the day, isn't it? Who's got the biggest figures?
Yeah.
So you're finding these highly tuned engines. They will need oil changes every 3,000.
Yeah.
There's lots of things. Yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, you can't just get in them and drive them every day.
Yeah.
You can't boot them from cold, or you shouldn't do anyway.
Yeah.
And there's lots of things like that you need to be educated often, I think, before taking on a supercar.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the one supercar that seems to, or used to, defy the logic was Porsche with its 911. I mean, they were, it was derived from a Beetle as a 356, and then the 911 came along. But Porsches, the 911s, I'm not saying the modern ones. I don't know a tremendous amount about the modern ones because I'm not particularly struck on them. But the 911s from, say, the late 60s, 70s, 80s, etc., you could more or less treat as a normal car, couldn't you? I mean, what was it that set the Porsche apart from everybody else?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a very good question because, well, I kind of see them as sports cars, not supercars.
Yeah.
But they just happen to be able to keep up with the supercars. I don't know what they were doing at the time, but they were doing it right. And sure enough, you tend to find they don't have that many problems.
No. And the latest ones seem to sort of suffer from Boy score, which apparently, no matter what you do, even if your modded 911 doesn't suffer from Boy score, hang around, chaps, it will. And it's due to the cylinder linings, which you then got to put the liners from a GT3 in, because they don't suffer from it. It's the lesser models.
Ah, right.
But the other thing I've noticed, and I've noticed it because you're the man who works on my Renault Alpine A110, the modern oils now, the modern engines love this thin oil. I mean, how does this come about? Because, I mean, I used to run a Jaguar XJ6 in the 80s. When I used to drive it down to central France and southern France, I always made sure I had 2-gallon cans of Castrol GTX in my boot, because by the time you got there, it had more or less got through a gallon of oil. It was just known for doing it, and it never struck you as strange. But why are these modern high-performance engines suddenly become so oil-thirsty?
Yeah, it's. I think a bit of it is down to emissions, and all engines will burn a bit of oil.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed. But your old mineral oils are more polluting than this modern thin piss and stuff.
Yeah, synthetic oil.
Synthetic, yes. But yeah, again, you'll find a lot of pistons will have to have a Teflon coating.
Yeah.
Which obviously does break down, and this gets into your oil.
Yeah.
And then it renders it kind of useless, the modern oil.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back to the day when you could stick a good old 1050 mineral oil in. The engineering tolerances in the engine are that fine that you need a thin oil to get in the gaps of in your contact areas.
And so by its nature, thin oil burns away quick.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
This modern oil, it doesn't have the same durability as your old fashioned oil. And like you say, it's thinner, more will stick to the cylinder walls, and more will burn away.
Because the other problem is it's expensive as well.
It is, yeah. It's vastly expensive. Black gold, they call it.
So, I mean, one question that has to be asked, and when you answer it, it's a question of why. If Nick Foster was going to own a supercar, what would you own? Or is it none of them?
Kind of none of them. I'm definitely a sports car fan.
Yeah.
I like to get in the car, and I like to be able to throw it around the B roads of Britain. Not worrying too much, being out to have fun.
Yeah.
It's got to be involved, and you got to, the experience of it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you jump in a modern supercar, you're often scared witless to be able to go anywhere, to be able to throw it around.
Yeah.
There's too many potholes, too much stones on the side of the road that I don't think I'll get out and enjoy one.
Right.
So I think, if I had to, if I won the lottery and had a nice big warehouse full of supercars, they would probably stay in there as ornaments. So, kind of not for me, really, although I appreciate the design. And
so, I mean, the other great thing is when they come in here for service and everything else,
they all road tested,
test-driven and road tested. Which one of all the ones you've driven has impressed you the most?
That's a good question. I can tell you what I was least impressed with.
Do tell.
So an Audi R10 recently.
Yeah.
Which is a phenomenal car. I can't
Which,
deny
if you put
it.
it in a different body, becomes a Lamborghini.
Yes, that's right, yeah. But just really dull to drive. It was far too easy.
I mean, they make a nice noise.
They do, oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do make a nice noise, but I didn't feel involved in it. You just kind of, you don't feel like you're driving it as such.
Yeah.
I
I think the other problem is, I mean, I have been in one, and you do feel like you're in a two-seater Golf.
Yes.
Because everything, Volkswagen and Skoda and Seat, and there's nothing wrong with this in your average Golf or Skoda, you can see the commonality of the ports bin.
Yeah.
But when you get in a high-performance Audi mid-engine supercar, you wouldn't expect to see the same thing that you can see in your everyday Golf.
No, that's it. you want to feel more special, don't you?
Yeah.
You want it to feel completely different in another world.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're not often, are you?
And I mean, one other quick thing, and I can remember this, I was talking to somebody in an Aston Martin showroom, and the latest Aston Martin was there, and I looked at the side repeaters on the front wings. I said, they're off a Ford car. And I was told, yes, they are. I said, what reaction do you get? They said, well, the thing is, people who come and buy Aston Martins, it's highly doubtful they will ever go and buy a Ford car. So they will never notice this commonality of componentry, and that these things are off a what you might call a cheap, everyday shopping car. And I get the feeling, I don't know whether you've found this talking to the owners, or the owners of supercars, do they have a different mindset?
Yes, some of them do. Yes, yeah. You feel like, yeah, like you're saying, they're not likely to come in contact with small, cheaper cars.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, they feel like just because it's got a badge on the front, it's bound to have far superior components.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case. No.
So once again, we go back. If you were going to have one, we've just said which don't you like. You don't like the Audi. And you can finish answering that question now. What supercar have you driven that you've serviced and road tested that you thought, if I had the money, I'd have one of these?
I do love something British. I'm patriot, so Aston Martin is always a... any of them really. They're all good for me. They are
regrettably they now fit Mercedes-Benz.
Well, yeah. But you feel like you need to have a hairy chest to drive them because the clutch is stiff and it's a proper involved driving experience.
Yeah.
I've worked for quite a while for JLR, so I've got to know F types quite well.
Yeah.
Again, they are a phenomenal car.
Yeah.
And I find their drive is good and it's engaging, and you feel like, although they're not at the top end of the supercar market, you're less likely to worry about a few stone chips, a bit of gravel rash or something like that. So I'd go down that route, I think, because a bit more of a usable, user-friendly supercar.
And though you work on the modern ones, would you have a modern supercar or would you have an old one?
I'd have an old one.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Perhaps I'm just not quite with it with this, with the modern technology. I'm not bothered if my stereo can't play Spotify or things like that. I do like a car that makes you feel like you're in charge of it, not the other way around.
And I mean, to finish off, you very kindly work on my Alpine A110, as we've said, and Nick from Tarox, another sponsor, kindly upgraded my brakes on the Alpine. And it never dawned on me till I saw you do it. You to use an iPad to disengage the electric handbrake.
Oh, yes.
And this to me is farcical, absolutely farcical.
It's very common now. There's lots and lots of components have to be told to release, or have to be put back into their base setting before you can take them off. Definitely. From the last 10 years or so, perhaps more, you have to have a diagnostic machine with every job.
And I think that's probably the thing. You look at the old sports cars. A computer is something you might put on the passenger seat, but they don't talk to each other, which is probably a good thing in many ways, isn't it? Because listen to the engine, you don't need you regrettably now have to have a computer to talk to the engine.
Yes, oh yeah.
In the good old days, mechanics used to put their heads under the bonnet and listen.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, a lot of the traditional skills are dying out because there's not need for them now. Yeah. So if, an owner of a slightly older supercar goes to their nearest garage, they probably won't be able to do anything because, the skill set isn't there to be able to listen for noises or know what bits should be doing. Yeah. Without the computer telling them what it should be.
Telling them. Yeah. So basically, Nick Foster, who happens to work on modern high-performance cars and supercars, given the choice, would drive an old one.